Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Javi de mikeandjavi.com. Esto es English Listening, bienvenidos. Hoy Mike nos ha preparado un vídeo de vocabulario en el que vamos a aprender todo lo relacionado con un coche. Así que, Mike, adelante con ello.
Hello and welcome to English Listening. I'm Mike from mikeandjavi.com. Today I'm sitting in my 98 Honda Civic and I thought that I would do some vocabulary for you guys. So we're going to talk about the parts of a car, I guess. This is what we call the dashboard. The dashboard contains all of the controls. First things first, we got the steering wheel. Let's turn that this way. This is the steering wheel for turning the car left and right. Now we're going to take a look at some of our gauges. Right here we have the temperature gauge. Here we have the speedometer. Here we have the fuel gauge. You'll notice on the speedometer we have an odometer, which tells us how many miles that the vehicle has driven so far. As you can see, I have driven 150,000 miles. This car is a 98 Honda, so I've been driving it for quite some time. And you'll also notice that it's an mph, which means that we drive by miles per hour. We actually gauge that. So you see this, the speed here is in miles per hour. You'll notice also, if you look even closer, that you can see that there's kilometers per hour listed in gray. And that's mainly for Canadians, because Canadians actually use kph, whereas we use mph, because we're Americans. That's what we do. Now we have my radio. This is also a CD player. I believe that I don't really use it as a CD player, but you can put a CD in here, or you can just listen to the radio and you can switch you have your controls. We have our airflow buttons. This is for actually controlling how air is actually blown into the car, if it's hot or cold, or if we use the air conditioning. This is the air conditioning button. We have some vents, and you'll notice at the top that we actually have an airbag. There's an airbag up here, and there's actually an airbag right here. If something actually hits my bumper at a certain velocity, it will actually cause those to eject. In addition, we also have horn, as you can see there. We have some switches for turning on our headlights, and this turns on our headlights. This, if you pull it, it actually turns on our high beams. Over here we have our windshield wiper controls, which are not working right now because I don't have my car turned on. And here's the starter, the ignition, turn the key and the car turns on. Let's see, down below we have our, this is actually nothing down here. This is just a foot, place to put your foot. We have the, I'm driving a manual transmission, so we have the clutch here, and we have the brake here, and we have the gas pedal here. Now, as I showed you guys before, we have a cup holder here. This is for, I got my water here. And we have, I drive a 5-speed manual transmission vehicle. So this is the actual, we use this in conjunction with the clutch over here to actually switch our gears. 5-speed. We have our handbrake. Some people call it the emergency brake or e-brake. That pretty much sums up most of the things that you need to actually drive a car.
Muy bien, pues vamos con las preguntas. Mike dice que al freno de mano le llaman parking brake, pero ¿qué otras denominaciones usa? Segunda pregunta, ¿qué unidad de medida usa el velocímetro del coche de Mike? ¿Kilómetros por hora o millas por hora? Tercera pregunta, ¿de qué marca, modelo y año es el coche de Mike? ¿Cuántos airbags tiene el coche de Mike? Y última pregunta, Última pregunta, perdón. ¿Qué tipo de transmisión usa? ¿Es manual o es un vehículo automático? Bueno, pues las respuestas a estas preguntas en inglés están justo debajo de este vídeo, como siempre. Recordamos que podéis usar el espacio de comentarios para preguntar, para hacernos llegar vuestras opiniones, para cualquier cosa que os parezca oportuno. Si os ha gustado el vídeo, por favor, marcad el dedo pulgar hacia arriba, lo cual nos ayudará. Y bueno, recordaros también que en myandjavi.com tenéis todos nuestros vídeos y tenéis también algunas notas textuales de nuestros blogs respectivos y también algunos recursos para el aprendizaje de idiomas. Sin más, nos vemos la semana que viene. Gracias, hasta pronto.